Welcome everyone to the post-game lobby, the final post-game lobby of the first season as grand finals of champs have come to a close. A huge congratulations to Dallas Empire, the first ever CDL champions, of course, closing out 5-1 over Atlanta FaZe. I'm joined by Mud Dog and JCap. And right off the rip, when we watched this, Eric, 5-1 in the grand final. Dallas beats Atlanta in the winners final yesterday. So why did it just seem like Dallas had Atlanta's number every single time they played and made it look fairly easy?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this tournament, it was sort of the opposite. Atlanta had beaten Dallas
Mhm.
pretty consistently, and even yesterday, like the 3-2 loss. Like anytime you go map 5, it's easy to say that series could have gone either way. So I really thought we were going to see more of. I was going to say I thought we'd see more of a battle. I thought FaZe was going to come out and smoke Dallas today. Definitely a surprising result, but not like too. It's not like a shock by any means. I mean, Dallas is a super talented team, so they came out, they did their thing, they played really well. Um, Congrats to them and a wonderful season.
Cap, what were your takeaways from what you saw out of Dallas in kind of their whole entire champs run, making it all the way, of course, from the winners bracket into the grand final, and the way again that they handled Atlanta both in the winners final and then in that rematch today?
I just thought Dallas was way more prepared though. Their teamwork, the way they were playing the game just seemed way more consistent, way more fundamentally correct. Atlanta is a super talented team. I think the best team in the game. Like raw talent, I think they're still ahead of Dallas, but like they just like made stupid mistakes that you can't make in a
Mhm.
tournament, let alone COD champs finals. Like, and it's tough to watch that. Having been through those situations myself, it's tough to watch it happen to other people, but it's just like you have to practice those things so that you don't make those mistakes. And it seemed like Dallas did, and Atlanta really didn't have it um, as well rehearsed.
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
think? Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
me and Jordan were talking while watching the match. Like Atlanta has such an immense amount of raw talent, and they seem to make so many plays they shouldn't and do like unbelievable things. But then when they have complete control, like it seems like they sometimes struggle to just make the easy plays.
Mhm.
Like I swear they seem to be better at breaking than holding a hard point. It's just very uncharacteristic to see, I guess I would say. And as Cap said, like in COD champs, there's no room for error like that.
Do you think that's something where it's kind of like Dallas had the polish with that veteran leadership and the preparation, or do you think it was a mix of things? But Eric, is that something where you would look at folks like Krim and Clay who secured their third ring with their win today? You look at them and say maybe they gave that discipline to Dallas, or is it beyond just players within a team?
I think it's a little beyond that. I mean, obviously, having veterans can be a positive on a team, but like it's not like Simp and Abizi and Priest are out there like getting nervous in champs finals or anything. So I don't really think that that was like necessarily the difference maker for Dallas. I think their overall structure and team play was, and maybe that came from the veterans. But like in the game or anything, I don't think it was necessarily like FaZe getting nervous. Like I think this was something we saw throughout the year. It wasn't like just today.
And Cab, when you look at a team like Dallas, obviously, I feel like we've seen it a lot. Last year we saw it, this year we saw it, but teams that are consistently doing well kind of starting to sputter out because they get comfortable and they get content. That never seemed to happen with Dallas. How hard is that in your experience for a team to kind of keep up that discipline and that momentum to be this prepared going into champs and through the whole season?
I think that's where Krim and Clay's veteran experience does come in handy because they've been through that before. They've been on teams that have won and then fallen off later in the year. And then they've been on like the flip side where, maybe they'll start slow and heat
Mhm.
up. They've been through those up and downs, whereas people like the whole face team, they didn't have those up and downs. Like Simpson and BZ came in last year, won the two biggest
Back to
tournaments,
back, right?
won
Yeah.
champs. Like their first year, and then like Celium even last year, his first year, he was unbelievable. His face team was great, and I think that's where Krim and Clay like, hey guys, like we started the year hot, but like this doesn't matter. Like what I mean, we started the year
Mhm.
hot, but we got to stay on top of our shit and keep this going throughout the year. And that's really where that structure, because when you get this late in the year, every play you make in game is just like you hardly even think about, just pure muscle memory. Like, hey, I've been in the situation 50 times before. I know what I'm gonna do. I know how I have to react to every little thing. And it seems like Dallas had that all, like I said, like they had it like rehearsed. That's what I mean. Like it was just pure muscle memory, whereas FaZe looks like they were just still making so many little errors that they like I don't know, maybe their hot start earlier in the year, they were just like, "Oh, we'll just ride the high. We're the best. No one's
Mhm.
touching us." And then they didn't really stay on top of it the way Dallas did.
Yeah, well, something maybe a mixture of many things, but still incredibly impressive, of course, out of Atlanta to get second. But let's touch quick on Chicago securing third place, and it's kind of like our three best teams of the year. Obviously, interspersed sometimes with folks like Florida, sometimes with discussions about folks like maybe Minnesota early on or Toronto later on in the season. But realistically, Dallas and then Atlanta and then Chicago are 1, 2, and 3. But
Yeah.
Chicago falling in third place. What did you think of Eric of their performance at Champs and how they went out yesterday?
I mean, their performance at champs overall was a very strong performance. Going out in the fashion they did yesterday was pretty tough. I mean, even that last hard point to phase, I saw posts on Reddit about it. Like they could have rotated to P1 and phase
Yeah, I
couldn't
mean
have
they
gone
had
off that
60 seconds at
fire.
the beginning with no
Um,
kills on Atlanta.
yeah, I mean, wasn't it? No, I think it was the opposite, right? Chicago had,
No, 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 it was in the
Yeah.
in that fourth hard
yeah,
point on Petro. It was 60
yeah.
seconds, no
Chicago
kills for
started
Atlanta.
off super
Yeah, yeah.
hot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that was a great start. Even though like with that start, Atlanta bounced back right away and got a lot of control in the second time. I mean, especially in these high level matches, something that's really important to do. And like we saw this happen in the domination and didn't see them do it in the hard point. Like when you have the opportunity to really blow a lead open and like just abuse a team and trap them, you need to capitalize on it. If you can chain two hills like that right off the start and get a
Mhm.
crazy lead, it can be super impactful. But FaZe came out strong, was able to break that and bring the match back. I think FaZe was just a tier above. FaZe and Dallas were a tier above Huntsman the whole season,
Mhm.
I believe. I know Huntsman won there, but overall, I think those two teams are in a class by themselves.
All right, Cap. We know that Simp got a lot of hate on social media for this, but in that series, he shot bodies a few times,
Oh,
and
man.
I,
Oh,
I just, do you?
grow up.
Okay,
If
there we go. You said Grumpo.
if
What's your
if
opinion on shooting bodies?
if you have a problem with someone shooting bodies, like,
You're
get a
soft,
grip. Just get a
soft.
grip. Like,
Grow up.
it's a competition. Like in the NBA, they're talking shit to each other. In the NFL, they're
Mhm.
like talking shit. Like that kind of attitude, that swagger is part of the game, part of the competition. Like
The best way to
it's just
avoid your
this.
body getting shot is to go out and win. So if you
Yeah.
want to complain about your team or
I
your
mean,
favorite team's body getting shot, is what it is.
yeah.
And
I'll call it as it is here. Like the people upset about body shooting were upset because he shot Scump's body. Like it's mainly those
Right.
Chicago Scump fans, and it's like, yeah, dude. Like I love Seth too, but like he got his body shot. Like it happens. Like if he won the series, or if he shot bodies, if he shot Sims body, they'd be like, "Oh no way! It's so cool.
yeah,
Scum
they
shooting
love it.
bodies. He's feeling himself. That's awesome." Like it's that's part of the game. If anyone has a problem with shooting bodies, just grow up.
So
I
there you
love
heard it
it.
first. Grow up, folks. And Eric
Grow
loves
up.
it. I mean, I think it adds spice. And we love spice. COD is known, especially the pros, for kind of that spice on social media. And we saw it in game. But I think my surprise of the tournament, of course, London getting fourth. To just round out those top four and touch on London really quick. London, an impressive champs run, all things considered, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had a strong run. I think they outperformed expectations there. I thought when they won that first map versus Huntsman, they were going to give them a good series.
Mhm.
But sort of the same thing we talked about with like Huntsman to FaZe. I think London was, in that tier below. Huntsman was like, I would say alone in that, you know, I put FaZe and Dallas S tier, put Huntsman
Mhm.
at A tier there. I think London was a tier below them. So they sort of, finished where they sort of belonged, I'd say. But a really strong season out of them.
And what about, guys? Let's touch the season as a whole, finally coming to a conclusion, the inaugural season of the Call of Duty League. And I gotta say, looking back through all of my watch parties I've done, of course, Mud Dog as general manager for Optic, Cap as one of the players for Optic, seeing everything, it seemed like they handled everything as best they could have. There was a lot of hiccups. 2020 has been chaos, out far beyond this game, but I feel like we've got to give props where props are due, especially with tweaks and improvements they made throughout champs. That they did a good job given kind of all of the hurricanes and storms and whirlwinds that they had to face.
Yeah, I mean the CDL made a best of the bad situation there. Obviously, there's always going to be things that we can improve on. I really want to get, and I saw Merc do this on broadcast, so I'm going to copy him on this. I want to give a shout out to the players because they went through
Mhm.
some shit this year. A lot of people don't know behind the scenes, but there was a lot of stuff to figure out. Online Call of Duty is very stressful.
Mhm.
So for them to all, and this is not just my players, the players as a collective unit, like for them to stay as positive as they did with I'll just say it, with an awful game. They were able to, provide a great competitive product. Something that's really cool about the competitive COD community is no matter how bad the game is, we always seem to make it a really interesting competitive community rallies around it. And
You make
this
it the
year,
best it could be. Yeah.
yeah, and this year it's been cool with like Warzone blowing up that like even more people are watching. Like I saw like random big streamers like King Richard tweeting about the match. And like he
We love
probably
that.
never watched champs and stuff in the past. So
Yeah.
to see them like tying it into stadium, like I'm really excited about the in-game integration stuff. Like the more we can do cool things like having stuff with champs in the stadium, having the game be able to watch, like maybe I'll even go crazy and say that like next year we might be able to play competitive COD in the game. That'd be wild. But excited for the future of the game, the franchise as a whole for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely. Again, they did the best with a tough situation, and I agree. It's something I'm glad that you brought up what Merck said. But yeah, the mental fatigue, and this has been such a mentally fatiguing year in so many ways, for the
Yeah,
players to
you
be
have
able
no
to.
idea.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. I know. Like if I can say that and I don't even know the majority of things that have gone on. A huge shout out to the players, but also everyone behind the scenes of every team of Optic, of all the 11 other teams in the league, everyone who works tirelessly behind the scenes of CDL itself as well. I think a huge shout out and a thank you to you guys for making the best of a rocky season and making it the best it could be. But folks, I do want to say for post game lobby in the off season, please do stay tuned for more news and information on what we will be doing as it comes up. We thank you as always for tuning in with us as the conclusion of the first season is here. Congratulations again to Dallas, your first CDL champs. Congratulations, congratulations. Very much deserved. They made it look pretty damn easy. But guys, now it's ready to get into the off season. I know I'm gonna go playing Warzone, but Cap, Eric, what are you guys gonna be getting up to? I think you guys might have Eric a little more stressed than I, but I know I'm gonna be
Yeah,
streaming playing Warzone.
I'm dealing with free agency and gotta start streaming and play Warzone probably. I don't really have much else to do. Build a roster and play some games. Read
I'll,
emails.
I'll be on Warzone most of the off season,
You're gonna
so
go win some more
Schooling
tournaments.
Verdansk.
I'll catch you. I'll catch you guys in Verdansk for sure.
We love that. All right, everyone. We will catch you in Verdansk. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, stay tuned for more information on the post game lobby.